Hello, welcome one and all. Deter will be arriving shortly. Just gonna wait for some of you guys to come on in, show on up. Let's go ahead and do a little promotion. Share this where it needs to be shared. And all that good. If you know what I mean. Spinell? Hi. What you doing? Hi, cutie. My cat is up on my amp. She loves that little spot. She's so fucking cute, dude. All right. Post here, post it there, post it everywhere. Boy, do we have some shit to talk about today. All right. Live now. All right, that's where it needs to be, I guess. Wow, Marjorie Taylor Greene doesn't know how to read, I guess. Oh, wow, okay. Broken goddamn clocks, dude. We got, oh my god, so much happening. Oh, I'm glad that the conspiracy theorists are finally waking up to the techno feudalist conspiracy theory that has its claws deep within the skin of the Trump administration. I don't fucking know. Words. Ba ba ba. Posting. All right. Let's see if I can actually get logged into my Instagram on here. All right. Stateless. Patriots. Etc. Etc. No. Maybe. What about that? God damn you. Oh, that was unnecessary. No? What about this? No, not that either. What the hell? Let's try this. Hello, Megan. You're here. My God. Now this stream is actually worth a damn. Oh, here we go. I did it. Okay. Excellent. So I am able to log into my Instagram, my political Instagram. So for Stateless Patriot, yeah. We got a lot of stuff to cover. We got God. I don't even know where to begin. There's so much shit. Yeah, so Marjorie Taylor Greene, Broken Clock, sees through the AI bullshit, all the Palantir shit coming out. And, nobody said shit when that Starlink $500 billion announcement was made his third day in office. But now, like, all the slow folks who are so prone to conspiracy theories are all finally catching up. You got examples an abundance of examples, and of course, it's just like the worst people, the dumbest far right guys and shit. But like at least like there's like a new shiny conspiracy that's not actually like really much of a conspiracy at this point to latch on to. But yeah. So if you guys are just joining, who's talking to the audience, not me directly. Okay. All right. Um, as for you, audience, Dieter should be getting here pretty soon. He is just getting back from DSA meeting, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And we got a whole hell of a lot to talk about. We got the fact that um, Elon is, I guess, officially leaving the White House, stepping away from the administration. The fact that all the rumors and shit were completely true. All of his behavior behind the scene, all of his antics, all of his drug use, all of his insufferable uh his antics, all of his insufferable antics. It really was just all true all along. Like nobody liked him. And now that he's finally gone, like all these outlets are finally somehow grew a spine. And it's like they're all humiliating him, dunking on him, revealing a lot of the shit behind the scenes. But they didn't want to do so yet. Otherwise, like, oh, you might feel the wrath of Trump, you know. But since him and Trump are going through a breakup, I guess it's all fine now. It's just been hilarious. But Elon's still a piece of shit who stole a whole bunch of shit from the government with in using Doge to do so. I'm actually gonna grab some water and a drink real quick, and I guess we should talk about ice at some point as well. So many things to talk about, couldn't fit it all in the title, but give me just like 2 minutes. I'll be right back. Hello, thank you for joining. Welcome to Left Coast Live. Dieter should be joining here pretty soon. We got a whole hell of a lot to talk about. If you're in here, make yourself known. Say hi in the chat. Not exactly sure where to start, honestly. Like, there's so much shit, honestly. I couldn't find much on this. I'll actually share this in the I'll share the screen for this. But disturbing. ChatGPT CEO reportedly planning to unleash 100 million AI companions that will watch the users every move. I couldn't find much more on this, and Unilad, I know they've been around a while, but they don't even come up on media bias fact check. So that's how like I guess, unimportant they are generally. But if you know who this is fucking. Wait, is this? No, wait. I want to make sure I get this right. Chat CEO Sam Altman. Yeah, this creepy little fucker. He's one of the guys that was in the meeting with Trump, his third day in office, saying, "Yeah, we want to invest hundreds of billions in, making the U.S. the AI capital of the world." And it's just like AI is so fucking overvalued and overpriced. It's already in the process of degrading because it's starting to use AI generated content and uh, the works of other AI from the past into its software. It's like an Ouroboros basically, but that's not to say that there's still not potential for AI to get exponentially more powerful and improve. Look no further than what Google has released recently, um, and the really disturbing ad about like that was just all completely AI generated, and it was like just basically like the prompts made all the actors, the AI actors, seem self-aware that they were being like they were part of a prompt. And it's just like, why are you making them seem self-aware and like you're like making it seem like they're being tortured? Like, get me out of this prompt and this, or like, did you know like we're AI and this and that? And it just looks way too fucking real. Like, put a bullet through my skull. uh, yeah. So, even if this isn't true, it's still the plan. People like Peter Thiel, people like the tech oligarchy, still wants this shit to be real. But no one's asking for this. The only real use of this is to eventually replace who it replicates. And yeah, yeah. Like, I mean, because that's ultimately the goal. And in my opinion, at least, you know, dystopian doesn't even really begin to cut it. But I saw an article from Newsweek, and yeah, even aside from the Sam Altman shit, um, there's this whole thing with Palantir, and who's the Palantir CEO? This guy's fucking weird. Alex Karp. Looks like he electrocutes himself for fun. This fucking guy. Right here, Alex Karp. This fucking freak. His idea of you like his idea for using drones is actually pretty funny. Um, he wants to go after his so-called enemies with drones weaponized with fentanyl-laced piss. And it's like, okay, dude, you're totally normal and deserve to head a billion-dollar company. Like, why are all these fucking tech bros so fucking weird? Like, what is wrong with these fuckers? Anyway, so this guy, CEO of Palantir, right? And there are reports that Trump is going to utilize them even further. Because at first, they were being weaponized to target illegal immigrants. And, that in and of itself was like obviously like hugely fucking controversial. But now it's being reported that he is going to use them to basically set up an entire master database collecting all info, all information, all personal information, your income, your job, your social security, um, your medical records, all that shit, your social media habits, spending habits, all of that shit will be put into Palantir. Now, if you guys don't know what Palantir is, if you guys have ever seen Lord of the Rings, Palantir is the name of those orbs that Sauron looks into, controls, so he can see where his enemies are and shit. Like, like how much how more boldface can you get? Like, what positive use does this have? Government can't track cash. Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, cash is fine for now until they start phasing it out. Which, I mean, they already started to. Trump, well, I mean, for how good executive orders can be and how, the extent of their effectiveness, whatever remains to be seen. But Trump has already started the process. Like, we don't make pennies anymore. Which, I mean, what's the don't we still kind of need those? Bring up Lord of the Rings. Need you to hear temporary statements right now. Yeah. Where the fuck is he? Eating then booting up. Yeah, I don't blame him. He says 8:25. But yeah, me and him are going to talk about this a bit more. They're never fear cash pennies are unprofitable to make. I mean, cash like coins are to begin with. I mean, of course, it's unprofitable to make. It's physical currency. And again, like, what's our money even backed by at this point, huh? um, but yeah, just incredibly disturbing. And like Palantir was started by no other than drum roll, please. This guy. This fucking maniacal cretin, this subhuman piece of dog shit. Yeah, from I mean, the first thing you see here from Democracy Now. Palantir, Peter Thiel's data mining firm, helps Doge build master databases to surveil and track immigrants. And of course, it's going to eventually be used to track American citizens. Like, if you don't think like that's the purpose of it. That's why like the stocks are going like crazy up for it right now. This is the guy that started it. This is the guy that wants America to invade Greenland, so he has a little like fucking playground for, you know, the end of the world or some shit. He's like a fucking deranged psychopath. Really things depend on pennies. Only time pennies can transactions is with tax. I mean, I use pennies. I pay with gas with cash and shit, so I still use pennies. Physical currency requiring labor can be profitable and a good way to circulate currency in local markets. Yeah, no, that's like the biggest thing for me. Local markets, small businesses and shit, like big time. Great for circulation. Really, who cares? Bro does intelligence work. Highly classified military should array. You don't think you think they don't have data security? I mean, yeah, but like the point is, it's going to be used on us. Want to track like SS double dipping rich people in Medicare? That's so charitable. Like you're giving a lot of credence to them that I don't think is deserved, like, at all. Central government data being centralized, aka the old point is okay. So you're okay with centralized government, like what China has, basically. Like everything is done like a social credit system, basically. Uh, a massive surveillance state powered by AI. I mean, I I don't I don't see much benefit in that. The point is, government should have had centralized data and introduced social security numbers. What? Why? Why not just overlap agencies? Why not just have direct lines between agencies that could use the information? Why have it all in one place? Government programs to be centralized. Yes, social credit is different than having a central database for welfare. We're not talking about welfare though. We're talking about surveillance. That's what this is for. This is for targeting and tracking dissenters. Like it's already happening. Like people are being targeted for their political affiliations, for their loyalties, for lack of a better term. Overlap agencies, wasteful spending, store the data offline in multiple areas. I don't know. I don't agree with that. Um, I think the agencies exist for a reason. It shouldn't be centralized. There shouldn't be less people overseeing gigantic portions of our society. It should be a lot more spread out. It should be a lot more democratic. Fuck spending. Like wasteful spending is a bullshit excuse to cut social programs. Period. That's all it's ever been. That's all it ever will be. The idea that there's wasteful spending in the government, it's just like increased tax revenue. That's all we fucking have to do. Like if the economy's been growing so much, the past fucking 10, 15, 20 years, well, since the recession and shit, increased tax revenue. Like we don't have to fucking kick people off of Medicaid just to give some fuckers a tax break that don't even fucking deserve it. So keep these agencies in place, especially if they do good work, especially if people rely on them, if people need them, if it's easier, because it's already centralized. It's not fucking privatized, so you don't have to worry about people getting rich off of essential services. Uh, but this is just going to create a smaller and smaller group of obscenely wealthy people. Like we're going to see more and more 100 billionaires over time throughout this administration. It's just like the gutting of the government, just for the sake of it, just to centralize more and more power. Like totalitarianism is just around the corner. I don't know how more people don't see what is coming. I think this isn't about welfare. Yeah, I mean, that's their excuse, because they don't, because if you're on welfare, they rather have you fucking dying out in the gutter in the street. They don't want you fucking. The welfare should go to the ultra rich instead. Government doesn't have data on dissenters, but CIA, NSA, legal executives can't technically do. Watch them. The executive probably just wait. We'll see if the courts actually catch up with them. But yeah, NSA, Patriot Act. We're just seeing an expansion of that, with the power of AI and shit. For double dipping covers social that's so qualified. We should go after the people who actually have way more money than they know what to do with, that are getting away with cheating the system, rather than maybe a couple people getting more welfare than they probably actually need. Programs more than half budget. Yeah, I know. Think the higher taxes increase, decrease, or are neutral to the tax rates? They increase tax revenues. Like, like without a doubt. There's a balanced area. We're basically there. What was this in reference to, Megan? I'm sorry, I'm still catching up to your shit. Balance here in regard to what? Because we have guns. Yeah, I mean Brett Kavanaugh just signaled that they're about to decide on a case whether or not what was it? Brett Kavanaugh AR-15. Oh, Kavanaugh signals Supreme Court will decide the constitutionality of banning AR-15s. So maybe they'll give us a win. Let's see. Only 3 justices voted to hear a challenge on Maryland's ban on possessing AR-15s, barely falling short of the 4 votes required to take up a case. Kavanaugh said he'll provide the crucial 4th vote in a future case. I don't know. Maybe we'll be able to keep guns. Who fucking knows? Extreme, not moderate dissent. I mean, it depends on how they define extreme or moderate. Because like everybody's interpretation of dissent is subjective. Higher taxes do not always increase tax revenues. I mean, it depends on if the economy is contracting, then sure, yeah, that could be the case. And right now, I mean, with the way things are looking right now, and we're almost certainly headed towards a recession and a shrinking of the economy, and not to mention the global economy. Fucking raising taxes on like the ultra wealthy and like the highest earners and shit, it'll only do so much. That's for damn sure. But it's just still fucking happen anyway because tax the rich. Increased taxes can cause economic contraction. It could. It has to be done properly. Like I completely agree with you. But yeah. But yeah, more on that on the fucking Palantir thing. Like I can't iterate enough like how crucial economy is up year over year, by the way, not contracting. We'll see by the end of this year because we already had the first quarter be negative, and the second quarter is projected to be negative GDP as well, which means recession, baby. Yeah. Find me one source of what? Of the economy shrinking. Per capita year over year is up 4%. Is that true? Well, I'm talking about quarterly. Look, I like the past few years. It's definitely been up. Like that's a fact. I'm not disagreeing with you like there, but I'm talking about projections. And this year, second quarter is almost done. I think we'll get the numbers. I think it's late July on how well the economy did the second quarter of this year, and I think like most, if not everybody, is saying that it's going to shrink. We're going to see negative growth yet again for the second quarter in a row. One named source of the Palantir story. That's why I said it's like before like when I showed you the Newsweek thing, it was just there was just reportings of it. So it's not like a done deal yet. Can you get my StreamYard link? Yes, Mr. Deter McBusiness, sir. All right, let's get this the fuck out of here. That's not it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, my co-host, Mr. Deter McBusiness, is ready to join us. Rate of growth has decreased, but is still growing. These week's sites MIT names no sources. All right, well, either way, Palantir is a horrendous company, and I would not be surprised in the future if they are, excuse me, the centerpiece for a surveillance state. That's for damn sure, and they'll be utilized by, you know, Sam Altman, Microsoft, Google. Like they will all be in cohorts. You know, it's like Larry Ellison said, everybody will be on their best behavior because of the surveillance state powered by AI and all this fucking shit. Hey, dude. Sounds good. Not too bad. I'm feeling quite lively. What's that? Not yet. Let me go ahead and let me add the screen. And now it is the case. Yes, there you are.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hello and welcome to Left Coast Live. It is Tuesday, June 3rd. I'm your host, Dieter McBusiness, joined as always by the one and only Stat Pat, stateless patriot of the Central Valley. We are California lefties coming to you about national politics as well as some local flair. Stat Pat, the world continues to burn. At least Elon is out of the equation. I've been thinking about a lot of things since the last time we talked, but I always want to defer to your opening thoughts because you right now you are more in touch with what the fuck's going on. So what the fuck's going on?
Oh my god, dude. Well, as suspected, as we kind of picked up on like all along, Elon Musk is a drug-addled mess who pisses himself and does so much ketamine he has bladder problems. He's seen as insufferable by everybody he encounters. Nobody in the administration likes him, and he's been thrown a fit about. It's
it's good though.
Yeah,
it's good. He's gonna feel some social punishment.
Yeah,
for trying to mess with our political system like he did.
Yeah,
and,
which
is great.
Yeah, and I don't even know if he's actually done with that. Yeah, he said that he doesn't want to do anything in politics anymore, or donate, or any of this that shit. He wants to focus on his companies, which is what he should be doing because they're all taking a shit for the most part.
I got to tell you, I was a very concerned, or my concern for this went up a few points when I was doing the Gen Z podcast a few months ago. And afterwards we were talking, and not to get too specific because I guess it was off the record, but they like Rogan still. They're still into Rogan. And that was a couple of months ago, so things might have changed. And I've seen a lot of coverage suggesting that Rogan's audience has taken quite a big hit. But yeah, man, he is enormously influential on the Gen Z generation.
Yeah, it's fucked. Like him and clowns like Asmongold. I don't know if you know who that is.
Yeah, I know he is. He's a weirdo. Why the hell do people listen to him? He's so weird looking.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got like a trashed out house and shit. He's got the dumbest takes. He's just lowest common denominator, brain rot shit. Rogan is especially interesting given how like lately he's been like kind of making a weird shift to like Christianity. I don't know like if that's like how fruitful that like the perspective the perception of that is, because he's been seen like going to church, and like there's been some reporting about like him like I don't know, becoming a bit more entrenched in those circles, I guess you could say. It's the weirdest thing, and the thing about that too is like there's this there's this common sentiment that's held now by people like that pay attention to this kind of shit is that the people who begin like out of nowhere, like showing a religious turn, like finding God and like
Right.
becoming Christian and shit,
Always watch out for that. Yeah.
are probably about to be exposed for a lot of heinous shit like that they did.
Oh,
And so they use the religion like whole thing like as a
to
smoke as
cleanse
a s-
them,
yeah, as a smoke
cleanse
screen.
themselves.
Yeah, so
Try
they're
to avoid cancellation. Is Ye got
exactly.
canceled, right? Ye got
Oh, big
canceled,
time.
right?
Multiple
Yeah.
times.
So
Yeah.
he's not he's not gonna like show up at like some Hollywood party and like
No.
everyone's gonna be okay with that.
Of
Like
course not.
that.
No, he's so
No.
ostracized now at this point. It's not even funny. But yeah, so I mean, there might be something to that. I don't know. Rogan's always just gone where the wind blows. First he was like just the stoner hippie who would do DMT and like would have like these crazy stories and shit. Then he got exposed more to like the people that fucking Peter Thiel funds or uh the fucking who are those oil tycoons? Like they're like a pair of
So
brothers.
the sad thing about Rogan
Hmm.
is that at the start he actually did come up with some good fundamental intuitive understandings of logic and reasoning and argument.
Yes, of course.
And he
Yeah.
kind of like it was actually kind of impressive. He got there on his own with like the fallacy of authority and the fallacy
Hmm.
of ignorance and like these
Yeah.
these things that when you go to school and you learn, you
Hmm.
take them for granted that you learn them.
Yeah, he had
So
like he
he
always had
didn't,
a.
he always joked about how he wasn't smart enough
Hmm.
to he had to work harder than say Chris D'Elia or Whitney Cummings because he wasn't as smart as they were. And
Hmm.
that's actually that may or may not be true. I think now that it's revealed that that's true. But
Mm.
at the point when I heard that, I said, well, that might be true, but it's also true that both of them are educated and Rogan isn't.
Right.
So like it makes a difference in terms of how you view the world. Or people who have watched my essays remember the most important lesson you learn in college is how little you know.
No. Yeah.
You learn the value of expertise.
Yeah. No, for real. I mean, because like early on, like he always. I mean, for years, he always had a healthy dose of skepticism. And the more and more right wing types that he had on continuously, the more that seemed to vanish because like you can't really apply like skepticism as much as you would coming across a lot of the claims that like hardcore conservative figures tend to make. So
Mhm.
that didn't show up as much, and like of course his audience like over time got more and more sick of him just not pushing back on the claims being made or blindly and unwittingly accepting these narratives or the rhetoric given by these far right types or these conspiracy theorists that he would have on. And like there are obviously like some exceptions, like I find like his the episodes where he had Alex Jones on, I thought were the funniest fucking thing in the world because like he's so outlandishly like outrageous, you can't help but just laugh and just be amused by how insane and off the wall the claims Alex Jones makes. So like that's
Yeah, but a lot of
understandable,
people
but
take him seriously,
yeah,
dude.
yeah,
I
no,
mean,
of
that's
course. And
what's
like
so dangerous.
yeah, in an environment like that, I wouldn't expect Joe Rogan to be like as
But it's like it's just a different
forthcoming.
degree and context of what we've criticized Gavin Newsom for with having
Oh,
Charlie Kirk and those
fuck,
other fucking guys on there,
we gotta talk
which
about
is like,
him.
dude, if you were having those right wingers on your show to
Hmm.
beat the hell out of them and
Yeah.
expose them as intellectually invalid and morally at this point, yes, inferior,
No.
then I mean, then that would be great. I would be down for that. But that's not what he did. He was broing out with Charlie Kirk, and they were
Yeah.
joking about how they didn't take their education seriously. It's like, yeah, it shows. You guys are dumb, jock idiots, bullies, and cowards.
Yeah, yeah. They saw the money and they were like, "Hey, I can be this big, like influential you know, character for the right to basically carry water for all their talking points and spread all their propaganda and come off as an excuse me, in touch college student or like college kid that relates to the youth and shit. And that's been Charlie Kirk's shtick for a decade at this point. And it's starting to get to the point where it's just wearing the fuck off because everybody sees through him. You're
Yeah,
starting to
didn't he
see
just get smoked at Oxford or something like
yeah,
that?
he went to Britain and
And he worked them
I
over.
guess
They're
yeah,
so much smarter than you, dude. Like, what
yeah,
was he thinking? But
yeah.
the thing is, his
Not to
people are
mention
gonna watch that and still find a way to be
no, of
like his
course.
fan
No,
and be like,
yeah.
"Oh, he still speaks for me." Like this,
Yeah.
"Oh, he speaks for me." Is like, well, he's white trash.
Mhm.
He's a white trash propaganda artist,
Mhm. Yeah.
and I'm sick of the title of maybe we should get into it. So this is my whole idea. So I've been like trying to like the next Who Are Maga series, right? I
Mhm.
want to get pretty aggro with it, and I was thinking about who are MAGA white trash Nazis, but I was thinking about remember political marketing, it's all about retention and resonance.
Mhm.
WTF no longer stands for what the fuck. WTF stands for white trash fascists.
Yeah, that's good. That's actually yeah. Yeah. No, for real.
And
And
so when you're in a public place, in a place like Boston
mhm.
or New York or Philly or Baltimore, Chicago, DC, LA, New York, whatever,
Mhm.
any of these towns, and you hear someone be like, WTF,
Yeah.
that's like alert, MAGA in the room. Like MAGA's in the room.
Yeah. They're
What do you think?
no,
I think
that's
it's gold.
yeah, that's
I think it's
it's
fucking gold.
yeah, just like as a yeah. Yeah.
As like a social punishment.
Of
Of like,
course.
and I have this other idea called, you let me know what you think of this, called the Blue City Stare,
Mhm.
where if you wear MAGA gear, you're just gonna get dirty looks everywhere you go.
Yeah. Yeah, no, because like it should be that off putting to where it's like yeah, and this is something I've actually been really proud of seeing lately is these neighbors, these neighborhoods that descend on ICE agents
Yeah,
and
like
to
San
the point
Diego.
like yeah, it's the point of intimidation. It's like get the fuck out of our neighborhood. You don't belong here. We don't stand for anything that you fucking do. Like yeah, this is the kind of fucking attitude American people should be taking towards these fucking pieces of fascist
Thugs.
dog shit. Yeah, they're fucking thugs. Yeah, and of course
Thugs.
they're going along with the administration because the administration needs their goddamn quota, right? Um,
Right.
according to Megan, I guess fucking because we need to talk about him. Gavin Newsom is going to be on Fox tonight on Jesse Waters, and so is Charlie
Really?
Kirk. Charlie Kirk's going to be on as well. So yeah, Gavin Newsom and Charlie Kirk on Fox
It's
tonight.
probably already happened or it's happening like
Mm,
right now. Let's see if we can tune it in.
odds are it's probably happening right now. Yeah,
Let me
if you can
check it
pull it
out.
up on YouTube, if there's a live feed, then fuck it. You might need like the Fox Nation app or whatever the fuck that we were using when we were doing the debates. But yeah, no, the whole thing with Gavin Newsom right now, I couldn't be more fucking upset. I watched Vosh cover it. This well,
Oh
I didn't.
Jesus.
I
Sorry.
no, it's all good. I didn't watch it. I listened to it, but apparently, and this is coming from Pat the Socialist on Twitter. Um, Progressive Democrat rising star in quotation marks Gavin Newsom wants to cut Medi-Cal by stipulating that anyone 65 or older or disabled can't qualify if they have over $2,000 in assets.
2000?
Only yeah, yeah. It's like
2000?
yeah, yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. I would not expect him to have that kind of position. He's
No,
changed, man.
no, yeah.
He's come a long fucking way from
It's gross,
where he
and
grew up.
we'll go into the implications of it in just a second. But no, according to Megan, Jesse Waters just tonight covered the fact that like they had that podcast episode together from like 6 weeks ago, the one that we talked
Oh
about.
yeah.
So yeah, I guess
So
for
it's
some
not on
reason,
Fox News tonight.
yeah,
Yeah.
for some reason Jesse Waters all of a sudden now just talking about it. They're really trying to like I don't know what the fuck Gavin Newsom's trying to do, but he's really trying. Like, is he going to run as a fucking Republican in 2028, or what the fuck is going on here, dude? And then holding a position such as this, like not being able to qualify for Medi-Cal if you're over 65 or disabled, if you have $2,000 in assets, that's just a perpetual state of you won't have, like, you don't make enough um to get out of the, like, impoverished hole that you're in, like, because, like, at that age you should definitely have more than $2,000 in assets, without a fucking question.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah. But like but also, if you like if you're so impoverished to where, like, if you do have that much in assets, you no longer qualify for that medical insurance, and you need insurance at that age. So it's just
Yeah.
disgusting. It's just fucking gross. I don't know why the fuck he's doing it. Like, it's, he has all these like budget fucking excuses and shit, and it's just like, who the fuck are you, dude?
Yeah, no, he's toast.
No, yeah.
I think it's going to be pretty easy for someone to primary him. Like
Mhm.
Wes Moore out of Maryland has always been my go-to guy.
Yeah.
Just in terms of political chess, I like he's my
Right.
favorite.
Right.
Um,
I
I don't
guess.
necessarily like the guy's politics. I mean, I think he's pretty
Sure.
establishment.
Yeah, I guess Pete Buttigieg is starting to pull,
Fuck
like,
that.
pretty well. Like, yeah, I'm tired of
No.
him. Tim Walz is still kicking ass and having good takes here and there. So that, I mean, there's that. But who knows what the country's even going to look like by the end of this year? Like before we even get to the goddamn midterms. How
Yeah.
how fucked will democracy be at that point? Because it's so fucked right now, dude. Like the excuse me, 'cause, like, there's some aspects of AI that are advancing so rapidly that people aren't even, like, caught up to where, like, we are currently. Like, Google just released a thing, like a video generator thing that, like, all the AI looks super fucking real. Like, it's like you're looking at real people, real places, and apparently none of it even exists. And the ad was so fucking weird. It was designed as if, like, the AI actors within it were aware that they were AI, and that they were prompts. Okay, get me out of this prompt. You're watching a prompt of a couple people talking outside the bar. And like, there's like some dramatic moments, like out of like movie scenes. It was just like the fucking just most disturbing shit I've seen, like, from AI generated videos in quite some time. And not to mention, I think the most disturbing thing right now, which is like just this biggest telltale thing, which, apart from reporting that Palantir is going to be used for a database on every American that will be powered by AI, possibly there's shaky reporting on that. Not exactly sure that's the case, but the fact that the big beautiful bill that's trying to get through Congress right now includes a provision that prohibits regulation on AI from any state, any state in the country, and at a
Really.
federal level for 10 years, meaning a 10-year provision.
It's
No,
done.
no state.
Genie's out of the bottle, dude.
Yeah, no state can, like,
We're never
implement
going back to
any regulation on the
a
AI.
society that doesn't have AI. We're,
Like,
all those sci-fi novels that you
mhm,
read about AI
yeah,
wars.
no, right, yeah, fucking iRobot,
Here they come.
fucking Terminator, yeah. But then on the other hand, it's just like AI is also like, it's just like it's so overvalued, yet there's just billions invested in it. It's just like all these tech bros are so fucking full of shit. Like, they're
Yeah.
playing it up as like the next biggest thing. Like, we need to have the biggest and best AI because it's inevitable that AI is going to eventually take over. And we're going to achieve singularity and all this shit. So we got to have the biggest and best. It's just like, no, it's all cheap. It's all bullshit. It's all total bullshit. And not to mention, like there's like a lot of AI is actually like deteriorating and degrading right now because it's like an Ouroboros effect to where their algorithms are being fed with other AI generated content. So like AI is being fed by AI and so on and so on. It's just fucked. It's just fucked. Um,
Oh, you mean like redundancy of data?
Basically, yeah, no, and that's another fucking thing too. I'll get to your comment in just a second, Megan. Fucking RFK Jr. Health and Human Services. They just put out like a report that apparently had it was generated by Chat GPT, and all the sources in it were completely fake. Like it was a
Oh,
completely fabricated AI generated thing that had a whole bunch of bullshit in it, and the sources that it cited were to fake studies. Nothing could be found from it. It's just like, how is this allowed? How is this fucking reality right now,
yeah,
dude?
I know.
Yeah, it's fucking and like we want to put through a bill that prohibits any regulation on AI for 10 fucking years. Like how like are we fucking insane? It's like this whole administration from day 1, if you want to be charitable, day 3 or maybe even fucking before that with like the tech bros donating to Trump's campaign. It's just been all about catering to them and their endeavors with
Hmm.
fucking AI and shit. It's just like
Hmm.
everything's being centered around them as much as possible. It's fucking insane. Um, Megan says, "Boo! Don't incentivize boomers to sell their homes. That's going to add to the difficulties for the next generation." What? And
You
then
mean so
like
they inherit them? Wait, so people like inherit the homes or something instead of having a.
I'm not sure. You're gonna have to clarify just a little bit on that, Megan.
Interesting. It might be a really interesting point if that's what she's talking about.
Maybe. Yeah, yeah. Speaking of which, like I've been getting accustomed to my new job, and so like I've been servicing like the fancier, nicer areas with the bigger homes, like up in the hilly areas, like east of Sacramento, and
Hmm.
it's kind of crazy, like a lot of retired folks and whatnot, and it lots of really nice houses. And yeah, by all means, please, like, who knows how much all those homes are really worth, and whatnot. Maggie says the Medicare asset thing might be referring to the she says encourage transfer of titles. Yes, yes, totally agree. Like pass shit down, inherit that shit. That'd be fucking fantastic. Would benefit the tax base too. Yes, yes, totally agree. Don't just fucking have boomers sell their homes like to some fucking Weasley bank or what's that company called, BlackRock or whatever the fuck.
BlackRock, yeah,
Yeah, like
they
so
own
so
everything.
mega conglomerate. Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty scary the consolidation of power that's taken place over
Don't
the
tell.
course of
Yeah,
my
tell
lifetime.
me about it, dude.
And it started in the 80s, really,
Yeah,
but
less and less government agencies now, consolidation and centralization of power.
yeah.
Because the rumors right now about Palantir, which was a company started by Peter Thiel, fucking supervillain, doesn't deserve uh fucking any pleasure in his life whatsoever. Um, is I guess because they've been working with Israel and
Mhm.
Starlink to ID Palestinians and target them and bomb their neighborhoods. Uh, and they've also been used by the United States government to ID and track illegal immigrants and get them out of the country. And there's reason to believe that Palantir is going to be used to implement a massive master database for all the personal information of every single American, including Social Security, uh, your income, your job, your social media behavior, all this shit, your medical history, and it it's to the point now to where even a lot of hardcore far right MAGA like extremist conspiracy theorists are like, we've been duped. Like
Yeah.
like it's like MAGA was just a big old psyop all this time. Like even Marjorie Taylor Greene came out on Twitter and said, well, I didn't know that this provision in page 200 something of whatever the hell of this big beautiful bill says that there would be a ban on any AI regulation for 10 years. And that if that's true, I'm going to vote against this. It's just like, for one, it proves that she doesn't actually fucking read any of the goddamn bills that she
Right.
votes on. And two, it's just like broken clock.
Yeah.
Do balance here works with the army, right? I mean, it doesn't surprise me. I assume they're very, very, very useful in that regard.
I mean,
And,
this is the kind of the debate. This is kind of the debate that we keep having is like, or the implicit conversation that that a lot of people who saw this coming, or at least mentally prepared for Trump 2.0 and the fascism that would ensue. It's like, how do we treat the MAGA trash after this?
mhm.
It's like, you know, Grant and Lincoln didn't punish the Confederate soldiers,
Sure.
but I think there's going to have to be some sort of social punishment for
No, of
this.
course. Like we will put up
And there's
fucking
going to have to
statues
be
of
there's
them.
going to have to be an historical political price to pay. I mean,
Yeah,
I want 40 years of the Republicans on the sidelines because they
I
are
hope so, dude.
absolutely counterproductive.
I fucking hope so. Like it's to the point now where Elon Musk is like kind of like going all out against the Republican Party right now, just because of how bad the big beautiful bill, which isn't a beautiful bill, it's a giant hideous catastrophe. It's a it's a big bloated piece of shit. Um, because the bill, it doesn't reduce the deficit, it raises the deficit
Yeah, raise the deficit. Yeah.
and therefore contributes adding to the debt. And
Yep. Thank
it's
you.
like, yeah, this
Yeah,
is
Rand Paul. I mean, I don't really.
bless
you
him.
got to respect Rand Paul
I have
for
some
being like
I have a
sticking
modicum of
for
respect for him.
sticking. I mean, he just has an identity and he just
Yeah.
sticks with it. It's
Yeah,
like
and bless him for
fiscal
that.
responsibility. You know,
Yeah, him and
like
Thomas Massey are just like
a
calling it
Kentucky
as it is.
Austerian.
No, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
just like to the end.
Mhm.
So you know, Rand Paul. Yeah, I could get him to be a Democrat if I were in charge of the party. You know, I
No,
could do it.
he's one of
So
those.
bring back the Southern Democrats, dude.
Yeah,
It's
he's
just
one of
if
those
the
people where it's
party,
like,
if
yeah,
but
Megan says I love Rand Paul. No, he's one of those people to where like he plays into the kind of buddy reaching across the aisle shtick, you know, that whole concept where like, yeah, we could agree on some things, where like he actually comes off as reasonable and just not up his own ass. I mean, sure, he's got an ego to a degree, and he does have a thing that he is like one of the more libertarian Republican types. So and like he actually fucking means it. He actually doesn't believe in you know wasteful spending if it shouldn't be there. This whole bill and the fact that like it's we're supposed to be saving money, you know. That's what Doge was for, and instead it like we're going to have to borrow a shitload more, increase the deficit. They're like, there's no scenario like whatsoever if this bill is passed in which the deficit reduces. Like there's absolutely no getting around it. And so like it's good that he sees that. Um, Rand Paul is based is like if Thomas Massey wasn't such a self-absorbed asshole. Yeah. Yeah. Oh no, Megan, I talked about when it came to Gavin Newsom, we were talking about Medi-Cal. But like at that age, like Medicare, you should be able to like should you be able to apply for Medicare like whether or not like you even have a job or even have a steady income like over
yes,
65.
just based on age.
So like so I'm wondering like what the move on Medi-Cal actually is. Like what the what exact I mean, your guess is as good as mine. Like we've been trying to figure out the motives of Gavin Newsom for months at this point. So who fucking knows?
Bipartisanship. He's the
Right.
personification of what's left of bipartisanship.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
what I think he represents.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Like,
it's it's
and
just,
it's
it's
just there's no more,
futile.
no more bipartisanship, no more.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
enough. Like, you're trying to reason with a psycho, an
Yeah.
idiot, or just a downright evil bully. Like, that's what you're trying to reason with here with the Republicans, and it's really sad. Um, it's really sad that like
Yeah.
a guy who had all the political privilege you could ever want
Mhm.
is going to squander that by not having any balls.
Right.
And I thought this guy had balls. I did never, I saw the change coming, but the original ideas and stuff, like he sounded like he had some real promise, and he just squandered that with this whole
Of
preoccupation that a
course.
lot of lefties have of trying to get everyone to like him.
And
It's like
for yeah.
everybody love me. Everybody love me. It's like, no, dude, that's not
Yeah.
what the country wants or needs right now,
Yeah.
or even should have. I want someone who's going to knock the bully in the goddamn face.
Yeah. Fortunately, it's at the point where I don't think he has like his chances of being president come 2028, even if we even have fucking democracy at that point, have just dwindled substantially. Like there are other people who really want to be president, like Pete Buttigieg and Tim Walz, who actually have like a spark and a fire lit underneath their ass. So yeah, and Megan is
Tim Walz would be great. I just don't know if he's got what it takes to become president. I think he'd be a good president. I just don't know if he's got what it takes to win the presidency. To be a good,
right.
there's a difference between being a good candidate and a good president.
That's
Bill
absolutely
Clinton,
true.
Bill Clinton, great candidate,
Hmm.
bad president.
No, yeah,
Ronald Reagan, great candidate, bad
yeah.
president.
You can even make that argument for 2016 Trump. Like he fucking dominated like every like he stole the
Yeah,
show everywhere he went, and then he was a
yeah.
fucking dog
For
shit
what that
president.
party for what that party that had been in the shitter from that caused by W for 8 years,
Hmm.
and it wasn't really though, because they reacquired political power 2 years after Obama took office,
Hmm.
um, which is just hilarious. I
Yeah.
mean, way to just give it back. Oh my God,
No, yeah.
Obama.
Megan
We got to come
says
to terms. God,
Megan says Newsom is a snake, a plastic ideal figurine that's half melted because he's trying to balance moral issues along with corporate financing corruption. Megan, you fucking nailed it. Like you
yeah, I
said,
think that
you
sounds
literally
about
like
right to me.
said it
Yeah,
better than I could. Honestly, he's like like no words, like 100% nailed it. Like absolutely correct in every sense. Yeah, I mean it's because of that, because he's just a fucking slimy weasel that I don't think he has like much of a chance in 2028. Not to
yeah,
mention like 'cause even if he does come ahead in like all the polls and shit, or at least he used to, because of the name recognition. He's like the successful California governor. Hey, that's going away. Like he's just not doing what needs to be done when it comes to democratic leadership right
mm, yeah. Let's see what else do I have. So, I have two things for tonight that I wrote down that just came to mind that I thought might be fun.
now. Hmm.
One is the question: are all politics still local? There's that old expression that Chris Matthews used to love. That's, I think, Tip O'Neill said,
Hmm.
"All politics is local." I don't know. MAGA makes it feel like all politics is now national. So I'm interested in your thoughts
Mm.
on that. And then there's another one where I'm going to give you 5 personality types within a dysfunctional family, and you tell me which one you want to be.
Right.
You want to start with that one?
So sorry. Repeat the premise.
So if I told you there was this family of 5 And the personality types were an asshole, a bitch, a bully, a pussy, or a disgrace. Which of those three personality types would you be? If you had to be a member of this family and be one of those five things, which one would you be?
I'd probably be an asshole.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm getting from guys mostly too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I mean, because like bully has its ups and downs. It has its implications.
But
But
abusive bully.
sure,
But like abusive. Like,
yeah, yeah,
I'm gonna start saying that abusive bully when I pose this question.
yeah. I mean,
But
and
anyway,
and also Megan is in agreement with us. We like local politics is base. Like it does start from a local level, and like it's a lot more important than people give credit to. And like as annoying as it is, because people like only care about the presidency when there's so much more at play. Um,
yes.
uh, but yeah, we're talking about personality types, Megan. If we had to be like one of these, so you said there is disgrace, bully, asshole, and what were the other ones?
Bitch and pussy.
Which, right? Yeah, no, because like people who are assholes, they usually have a point. You know, it's like
They're selfish. They're usually
sure,
selfish.
yes,
They're thought of as selfish people.
yeah,
But they're not always wrong.
yeah, and that's
In
kind
fact,
of
in fact, in fact, in fact, a lot of times they're like right a lot.
yeah, and people hate them for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that. I mean, that'd be like the most fitting like overall definition, I guess. But yeah,
The
really,
reason I'd go the reason I would go with the disgrace is because the family's so messed up. It's like if he's the disgrace in this family, he's probably the only normal one, or she.
yeah. Um, why is this a 17 mag quiz? 17 magazine. um,
Is that
yeah.
the ENTJ thing? Is that the personality type, the ENTJ, whatever, or IN? You know what I'm talking
Oh,
about?
yeah. I know.
Introverted, extroverted,
Yeah, I know what
the
you're talking about.
personality
Yeah,
mapping.
yeah.
Mhm.
I think I'm still like ENFP, something like that. Yeah, no. So what led you to bring up this prompt? I guess you could say.
I was just thinking about a shortcut for people to, figure out um, the personalities around whom I grew up, and
Hmm.
figuring out why I understand, like, I mean, just add right wing to all those personality types, or a
Hmm.
liberal pussy and
Right wing bitch,
a right wing bitch, a right wing asshole,
libertarian
and
disgrace.
no, the disgrace is a progressive. The disgrace is a progressive.
Oh, the disgrace is the communists.
Yes.
If we're gonna get real, honestly, God, I'm so sick of fucking tankies and shit. Oh, but yeah, no, I like the it's like a little thought experiment for sure.
Yeah, because they
Um,
all suck. Because
no,
all
yeah,
five of them suck.
exactly. But like they all make up fucking what it takes to be, I guess, in the world of politics for whatever reason. Like you'll get your like wholesome, genuine, authentic examples here and there. But for the most part, it is people that fit the mold of like one of those five types for damn sure.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, yeah.
The other thing was, yeah, no, I wanted to go back to all politics being local, because it I don't think all politics is local. Like, I don't think that's fair. I think laws are local,
Hmm.
like, and the politics behind those laws are local. But in terms of your state elections in a lot of states, in purple states, like the ebb and flow of mass mediated politics in America, in places like Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Georgia,
Mhm.
North Carolina, a lot of places are super vulnerable to political waves. And if you just keep going back and forth between Republican and Southern Democrat or Democrat, neoliberal Democrat, you're going to end up with the same goddamn problems.
Yeah.
Everybody was taking their hat off to what's his name, the governor of Pennsylvania, when he fixed the bridge.
Josh Shapiro.
Shapiro, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, like I get it. I mean, well done,
Wait,
but you
what
had
what
the
what what
resources of the entire federal government at your disposal because it was an emergency.
what
It was
bridge
like
was
the
it?
I-9. It was like the I-95 bridge going through Philly.
Oh, okay. So you're not talking about the bridge that got hit by the ship.
No, that was Westmore,
No, right?
Maryland.
Yeah, that's yeah. I was thinking about a different situation. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
But no, I mean, these emergency situations is fine, but I want someone who's going to not just make MAGA a verdict on extreme conservatism, but make MAGA a
yeah,
verdict on all of conservatism, its
yeah.
culture, its politics, its values. Yeah, I don't want to, if you're a conservative, I don't want to talk politics with you because, I mean, if you're still a conservative in today's world, like you got to be a sociopath.
Yeah.
Or stupid, or you got to either be stupid, stubborn, or sociopathic, is what I say.
Well, the thing, I mean, be like MAGA as a whole is a verdict on a whole lot of things, more so than far right politics, like at its logical endpoint. It's also a verdict on unchecked conspiracism. You know, conspiracy theories ran rampant. It's a verdict on just the void of education that like
Yeah.
so many people neglect.
It's a generation of neglected education system.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
this is a generation. This is more than a generation. This is maybe two generations of a
yeah.
neglected education system. That's what
No,
this is
yeah,
the result
yeah.
of.
You can
Yes.
dating back to Reagan for damn sure. Um, at the very most recent, at least. It's also a verdict on just um I don't know, just like the
Resistance to change, blind faith resistance to
yeah,
change.
yeah,
Because we live in a world that's defined by change.
yeah, exactly.
It just comes down to how you feel about change.
Yeah,
It's like
or people in gen-
conservatives hate it, fear it, are scared to death of it. Neoliberals think that they embrace it, but they don't. And then progressives are not only embracing it, but trying to, make others embrace it too. And a lot of other countries have solved these problems, and there's no reason why we can't learn from them, right? There's like 5 good healthcare system models to work on. That should be the conversation. The conversation shouldn't be Medicare for all. It should be Medicare for all or something better, right?
yeah, yeah,
That
exactly.
should be the conversation.
Yeah,
Because Medicare is not perfect. I got news for you. And the Green New Deal isn't perfect. I just got back from a DSA meeting, and the Secretary of Communications for my local DSA chapter. I should probably take that more seriously
I
while
was
I'm
gonna
on here.
I was gonna ask about that. How'd that go?
It was good. It was a good meeting. Yeah, yeah. No, it's a great, great group of people, and it's growing. And we're going to be doing a lot this summer, so it's going to be cool. I might go to Chicago actually,
Okay,
for the convention in August. Yeah, yeah,
that sounds like fun.
yeah. It's going to be really fun. So,
So
yeah, man.
what all was? I mean, if unless it's confidential, which I don't see why it would. What was discussed at the meeting tonight?
Oh, our legislative priorities. I won't get
Okay.
into too much detail, but the priorities were like the elections we're looking at influencing,
Mm-hmm.
and then immigration rights. Actually,
Right. Of course.
we didn't talk about it a lot, but trying to put into a working. We're trying to get some more work done on making sure ICE is contained, like to what you were talking about earlier. It's cool to see the activism with the citizens, banding together and saying, "Get the fuck out of
Great.
here."
Yeah, it's
You
good.
know, in a place like San Diego, because San Diego kind of gets a bad rap as being a pretty conservative town, and because it's really military, there's like the Navy base there and stuff, and but the Navy is not nearly as conservative as the Army, just so people know.
Correct. That's
The
true.
Navy. Well, think about it. The Navy is all about exploration. The Navy is about getting on a vehicle of some kind and going somewhere.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah. The more explorative you are,
Yeah,
the more open minded you tend to be, for damn sure.
exactly.
Yeah.
Explorers versus survivors. Dieter Decree number 6. My favorite one. Survivors
No.
versus
Yep.
explorers.
Yep. Yeah, it's why I love fucking traveling. I love seeing
Watch
new
my
places.
essays. Everybody watching this, watch my
Oh,
goddamn
yeah.
essays.
Speaking of which,
I put a lot of fucking work into them. No, I don't want to go. No, I don't
not
want to do a
tonight.
who I'm
Okay,
Maga
for
today.
sure.
No,
Okay. I
no,
mean,
I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it
that's fine.
tonight.
That's fine. I might watch one. I don't know. I might be.
You should, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, the problem is the problem I get into like scripture and stuff when I do the Bible beaters. I think I did 3 episodes on the Bible beaters because I know their shit so well, and I wanted to show off and be like, yeah, I did the education. I know the
Right.
New Testament. Yeah, like, I know
No,
Christ's real message. You're not real Christians.
dude, you're speaking my language because I've kind of wanted to do the same thing. Like I've wanted to like read like the King James version of the New Testament and shit. And just be like, oh, this and this and this and this and
Well, I told you about that
find
nut
the
job church.
contradictions and the shitty verses and the disturbing verses and all this shit. Yeah.
So I told you about that crazy church that my mom used to be a member of in the Deep South, and they were one of those churches that had propaganda that like sold books and stuff. And one of the books they sold was entitled "Was Jesus a Capitalist?"
Fuck no, he wasn't. It's like
That was the title of the book.
It should
Can
have
you
just been.
believe that?
It should have just been a one-page book with a big Times New Roman print that said no.
No,
Period.
no.
No, yeah. I mean, I remember back when, God, when I actually used to watch him. But there's this guy called Sargon of Akkad, giant fucking cringe lord, giant fucking charlatan. He actually talked with Steven Crowder, and Sargon of Akkad, who is an atheist, kind of made the case that, like, well, actually, I mean, blah 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 blah. Jesus Christ was actually a communist by definitions and in scripture and his teachings and this and that, and he just made fucking Steven Crowder squirm and was uncomfortable and shit. It was so funny.
I hate Steven Crowder.
Yeah, he's
There's
the worst.
no one. I mean, I want to beat the shit out of Steven Crowder and Charlie Kirk the most. I
Yeah.
want to beat the shit out of Ben Shapiro, but it wouldn't be a fair fight with Ben
No,
Shapiro.
right?
See, Charlie Kirk is huge. He's like 6'6" or something like that.
That's
He's a fucking
insane.
big dude.
Yeah,
he's wicked tall.
I guess Ben Shapiro is starting to get like beyond tired of the Trump administration shit is starting to come around on like a whole lot of different issues and whatnot. To catch up on what Megan's been saying, base healthcare for all good, advanced specialized healthcare for all prohibitively expensive, even with government funding. Yeah, it's a base healthcare like in general would still save tens of thousands of lives per year. College educations for realizing things. Don't mind me.
Hold on, I got a big one here.
Hmm.
Hey guys, I've learned a lot, but I can't drop it here. YouTube is being overrun by Project S. There are raving Zionists bent to crush all criticism. Israel Zionism explaining Judaism to hilt. Yeah.
Okay.
I believe you, man. I believe you, Marsh.
I've never heard of Project Esther, but yeah, no, I mean,
be on the lookout.
It's just there's an abundance of it. Like they don't want anybody criticizing Israel. Neither political party in the United States for what it's worth and shit. Yeah, it's disgusting. Yeah, Megan says college education for realizing things. 3 college degrees, 2 barely count. I guess. So, Megan, you're saying you got your bachelor's and you have 2 associates. I just want to make sure I'm reading that right. Pushing against changing things. Pushing against changing things being the tism. Yeah, that sounds familiar. That doesn't that God, wow, that I mean that checks out. That 100% checks out. I totally get it. And bro, Sargon, I'm crying. You watched him? Yes, I watched Sargon of Akkad for like fucking 3 or 4 years before finally getting sick and tired of his ass. I actually have an old video on my channel when I first hit the 1,000 subscriber mark, detailing my political journey and how back in the days of Trump and Trump being the God Emperor and all the fucking memes and shit, I did subscribe to a lot of those YouTube skeptics, a lot of them who ended
Mhm.
up being like conservative grifters and shit. And Sargon of Akkad was one of them. Like I would watch This Week in Stupid every single time. I thought he seemed calm and rational. He had a great voice. He had a charm about him, but he was just doing just fucking like the whole feminism badge stick or
Mhm.
progressives cringe stick. You know,
The
every
the
yeah
wokester shit,
yeah, all the remnants
anti
of
woke.
the remnants of the Gamergate shit that fucking
Mhm.
burnt up when people realize, oh, it's just a grift. You know, like it's like you're just milking this anti SJW shit for until there's like it's all dried up, and it got to a point where he became far too uncharitable to the point where like, okay, you're not even putting any effort into this anymore, and I fucking dropped him. um do they watch Ben Shapiro and not this shit with you watching Ian Miles Chung too? He's even worse. Ian Miles Chung, fucking awful. You hear much about that foreigners' opinions. Sorry for realizing these conservatives don't, from what you guys are saying. Yours, yes. What?
Oh,
Go ahead.
Marsh got upset. I'm not gonna show his next text,
Oh
but
yeah.
yeah, we're not supposed to talk about that, so we don't want to bring that up again, I guess.
Oh,
Uh,
like so was he like a pro Israel or what?
yeah, no, definitely not.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Um, yeah, I did watch Sargon for years. Oh, you watched the short form? I see the excuse. Uh,
Hey, do you know what the process is to
no,
get a
I
real
watched I
ID?
watched his long
Can
videos.
you
Go ahead.
can you get a real ID at a DMV right now? You can just walk into a DMV with your birth certificate and driver's license and and apply for a real ID right now, right?
I I
I think
think.
you can. I
Y-
think you can.
Yeah, why is that?
I'm gonna, I don't know. I'm gonna find out soon. My wife keeps telling me to get an appointment. I'm like, I don't think I need an appointment. I think I can just walk in.
I think
And
so.
like, yeah, you have to sit there and wait, but eventually they get to you.
Megan says
Um,
I got real ID fucking easy.
okay, sweet. Sweet.
California basically same docs as your driver's license. So like, yeah,
Yeah, driver's license and
yeah,
birth. I had to get I had to get my birth certificate from Massachusetts.
mm. Yeah. I think it's
Anyway,
the same
yeah,
process.
this is exciting stuff. This is great TV.
For
Um,
real, yeah.
but yeah, but I don't know, man. I'm probably gonna bounce. I think you should
Okay,
stay on though. But
sure.
and for now, I'm gonna say goodbye to my audience and please subscribe if you haven't already and check out Stat Pat's channel.
Yes.
He's got a great video on Jimmy Dore that you need to see if you haven't seen it already,
Oh
because
man.
the progressive left needs to learn from its
Mm-hmm.
past, man. The progressive left
Yeah.
needs to learn from its past. I've seen a number of
Yeah.
guests on other bigger shows um
Yeah. I mean,
that like make me a little nervous that the progressive left isn't going to learn its lesson come 26 or 28.
I
I don't
hope.
know.
I
I don't know. We'll see. We'll be here talking about it.
well,
That's the for sure.
well, according to Kyle Kalinske, I guess there is a lot of the Democratic base that is waking up to a lot more, I guess, progressive aligned ideals and shit. So yeah, we'll see. Um, Born and raised. Yep, California. Oh wait, Massachusetts is hard. Yeah. Right. So Massachusetts is probably harder. Megan says she thinks she used her passport to do the driver's
Yeah, but I
license.
don't have a passport.
Right. So like it's like the same process
My
as it
passport
is.
expired a few years ago.
Okay. To get your driver's license, it should be like the same exact process. She says,
exactly.
anyway, bye, Dieter. Thanks for the time.
Thanks, you guys. All right, reminding you that you don't get change in America by asking nicely. Peace.
See you, dude. All right, stop the screen. There we go. Okay. Thank you for knowing. I mean, last time I renewed my license was like 2023. So yeah. Um, God, there's so much to talk about. There's still like a few more things I wanted to touch on there at the end. Good show regardless. Maybe we might be able to do something like I don't know if he can do Thursday. And tomorrow he he might be able to do tomorrow. But I work up like way up east of Sac. So like getting home I haven't been getting home that early. Like I got home at like 7. Like maybe do tomorrow or Thursday. Okay. Works for me. Like honestly, like Thursday might be best. If you still wanna if you wanna do a show then. In the meantime, I think we should continue the Who Are Maga series. But I guess just to pull a bit more from my Instagram before we move on. One of my favorite memes from MAGA. Falling for all the goddamn bullshit fed to them by Trump. And, if this Palantir thing goes through, if it's actually true, it's like, how much more of a deep state can you get? And it's like Nick Fuentes even put it best, like another fucking broken clock. He's like, what bigger example do you need? What more evidence do you need that like something like Palantir is like the deep state, like a massive surveillance apparatus and whatnot, alleged potential, reportedly mass surveillance apparatus um, to be utilized by the government and spy on all of us, collect all our data, and go through all of our shit, and then crack down on us, and blah 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 blah. Busy tomorrow. That's all right. I'll probably we'll more than likely do Thursday. So I'll probably just do my gaming stream on my other channel tomorrow. Rip, hope it's lit. Are you referring to the job? Because the job's been cool. It's been keeping me really fucking busy. So I'll be making a lot more money. Tomorrow works better than Thursday. We could probably make that work. It just depends on how soon I get home from work. But if you're able to do Thursday, it would work better for me. Let's see. There's this other thing we probably could have touched on as well. Another goddamn Elon Musk thing. Political saying, yeah, no, I saw it, Megan. I just now saw it. The fact like Politico, who have had like fucking continuously awful takes. This Democrat rag. Headline here saying Musk might not be genuine. Democrats should still take him back. It's just like, fucking why? And subheader says Elon Musk is leaving politics just as climate advocates are starting to appreciate his influence on it. Okay, maybe I need to read this thing because that's fucking insane to claim. But I posted this on Instagram and like be sure to follow me on Instagram and Blue Sky. I said, oh yeah, utilizes Doge to mine terabytes upon terabytes of sensitive data on Americans from federal agencies to sell to the highest bidder. cough Palantir, cough Russia. And then these fuckers, politicals, like, we should take Elon back, guys. And it's like, no, the Democratic Party just wants his fucking massive influence, his millions of fucking dollars, so that way he can donate to their campaigns and shit, and donate to the DNC. It's so transparent. Like that's obviously what's fucking going on here. But yeah, we can do Thursday, but it has to be later because it's taking the old Republican to the state house. Well, that sounds like a blast. Honestly, we can do it late. We can start at like 8 Thursday. I would have like no issue doing that, whatsoever. Fuck Musk. Shit, everyone is ready for him to be out. Yeah, I'm glad you've come around. I'm really, really, really glad you've come around on Elon Musk. Like, I'm really glad. I'm really, really glad about that. All right. Well, I guess we should do a little bit of fun shit. Let me pull up YouTube here, and I do want to continue Deter'S, who are Maga series. Since there's still a handful of videos of his that I have not seen. And the next one we'll be looking at is a lengthy one, but fuck it, we'll get into it anyway. Who are MAGA Bible beaters from spiritual salesmen to cultural jihadists? Speaking my language. Not a lot of people know. Well, I mean, if you watch the channel long enough, because I have a few videos going over. Oh, that's what I was going to mention to Dieter. Because Dieter brought up my fucking Jimmy Dore video, which is probably still the most popular video on my channel for some reason. It was like a nearly 2-hour project that I dedicated a lot of time to back in mid 2021, and I don't think I've even watched it since then. In fact, there's a few videos of mine that I haven't watched since putting them out, and one of them happened to be a conversation that I had with Glenn Greenwald, and I was a bit too nice in that conversation, if I remember correctly, and I want to revisit it at some point and kind of tear it apart. That was, I think, late 2021, something like that. I've not come around on Musk. I just appreciate him being separated from government involvement because it's too much questionable shit. I mean, that's basically what I'm referring to. Like come around on him, like, because like ultimately, him being attached to government has been my biggest problem with him. Like him and Doge and shit. Glenn Greenwald, lol. Yep. I talked with him for like, I don't know, like an hour. When was it? Let me hold on. Fucking when was that exactly? Oh God. And it was it was a different time. It was a different fucking time for me. I had a lot more like different takes on shit. Yeah. Oh my God. It was an almost hour and a half conversation engaging Glenn Greenwald on populism, trans rhetoric, Tucker Carlson, and more. November 27th, 2021 is when I put it out. Yeah, we'll have to we'll have to go over this sometime. Cause one thing I have to bro, let's see it. Okay, soon. I'm not ready for it. I'm not ready for it tonight. I'm not ready to go over it right now. But sometime soon, definitely for sure. One thing I do remember about our conversation is I challenged him on Citizens United. And I was like, well, I mean, this is basically like legalizing bribery, right? And equating money to free speech and whatnot. And he fucking defended it. He defended Citizens United. I can't wait to get to that. Honestly, I'm like really, really interested in seeing like how fucking bad it's gonna be. So cringy. I don't want to like. What? Oh God. Oh. Oh. I was like 26. It was not a good time politically for me. I was just like starving for content. I didn't have a consistent upload schedule or anything. Yeah, where start was okay, where it was reported on excessively and hyperbolically. Sure, I mean, yeah, that's the media for you when it comes to Elon Musk for damn sure. Yeah, I'm watching tomorrow. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Oh man. Fucking tell you what, we'll cover it next week, or I'll do I'll do a solo stream reacting to my conversation with fucking Glenn Greenwald. um, Citizens United defense red flag, but good. I can't wait to relive the cringe. It'll be great, and as long as you're here by my side for it. 26, like that's an embarrassing age. It was. It kind of really was. I mean, I'm 21 now. I'm still pretty goddamn cringe. All right. We'll power through this Dieter video. I'll speed it up a little bit. Give my takes, and then it's bedtime. I gotta get up to Sacramento by 8. I gotta stock up my truck. The truck I'm using is fucking nice. It's fucking nice, by the way. It's a brand new Tacoma, like brand spanking new. Excuse me. But it's not going to be my permanent truck. It's actually my branch manager's truck, and they're going to go down to Bakersfield to get me a permanent truck, which will probably be a new Nissan Frontier, but it might be a new Ford Maverick. The new Mavericks are pretty cool. I used to drive an older Frontier for one of my jobs. All right, here we go. Okay. No, no, no. I guess that's fine. We'll do that. All right. Who are us? Bible beers, from spiritual salesmen to cultural jihadists.
The inauthentic, narcissistic, social.
Okay, yeah. Actually, I have to get to bed early because I can't be late tomorrow. Yeah, you don't want to stay for the video? I'll text you, by the way, because I've been curious about that. I'll probably like watch half of this, and I'll probably continue it another time. Like if I continue a future stream and Dieter doesn't stay on, I can.
Entitlement of the religious right is absolute. The inauthentic, narcissistic.
CEO's assistant gave me the company baseball tickets. No way! That's fucking cool as shit. When and where? At my old company, okay, so the Stockton Ports are a minor league baseball team. In 2017, we would get free tickets, and I would go to baseball games there free all the time. I used to get like some whiskey and coke, and they were like VIP seats. So you got like you were in like kind of the booth, like on the side, like up kind of a little bit above the stands. It was like an outdoor booth, but it was so fucking cool. It was so nice. Yes, going with my brother and Amanda tomorrow. You're fucking lucky. You guys are. That sounds like a fucking blast. Is it like a major league game? That, that'd be hella cool. All right.
The inauthentic, narcissistic social entitlement of the religious right is absolutely a threat to American democracy as we know it.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Starting it off I will call fiery and correct.
The Confederate Christian conflation, wherein evangelism
Giants Padres.
begets
Fuck
spiritual
yeah.
warfare, which begets cultural warfare.
That's awesome.
Which begets societal warfare, also known as revolution or rebellion, depending on your perspective. The Confederate Christian conflation's unholy trichotomy of theocracy, more simply known as 3 steps to Confederate Christian nationalism, is evangelism, soldiers in the army of God, and spiritual warfare.
I haven't gone to a baseball game in a hot minute.
Every so-called Christian in America understood the differences between these 3.
I'd love to take you to a minor league game. They're actually pretty fun.
Right, no pushy evangelicals, no Christian victimhood, no Christian dogma injected into our politics. Now, wouldn't that make for a better America?
Goddamn right.
As someone who has studied the New Testament, both in academia and in Sunday school, I will use relevant biblical citations to argue that evangelism in today's society should accommodate people's entitlement to spiritual privacy. That Christians absolutely should not consider themselves soldiers in the army of God. And finally, that the Bible does not encourage believers to interpret spiritual warfare as manifesting into physical warfare.
Yeah.
Such biblically based analysis of the appropriate role conservative Christianity should play in American society is not required to marginalize the intellectual credibility of extreme evangelicals. But since I do have...
I've yet to go to a Giants game. It's still on my bucket list. That sounds like a blast, though. It's not very interesting when you just say, yeah, hey, you see this? I'm going to give my input. Like, that's, you know.
As manifesting into physical warfare. Such biblically based analysis.
Because that's the thing. It's just like when it gets to the point where like you're putting your life and body on the line for a fucking belief that's not even like rooted in anything that's guaranteed. Like you're at that point you're beyond far gone.
The appropriate role conservative Christianity should play in American society is not required.
It's National Simp Day today. Well, you're literally watching your. I don't know if I should say that. Let's just say I'm a gigantic simp, and this is all about me. It's my day then.
Required to marginalize the intellectual credibility of extreme evangelicals. But since I do have this relevant education, and since I do love deconstructing cultural assumptions, I figured let's take down those know-it-all, self-righteous Bible beaters with their own goddamn text.
Yeah, this has been my thing too. Like, because I wouldn't have gotten into like politics if it wasn't for atheist content, the skeptics, the people who would use scripture against the religious theocrats and whatnot, because it's like, have you read your own fucking scripture?
Peter 3:15. But in your hearts set apart Christ as Lord. Always be prepared to give an answer to everyone who asks you to give the reason for the hope that you have. But do this with gentleness and respect. I'm starting with this one because it's such a slam dunk. Right here is scripture that supports my suggestion that Christians in America should chill the hell out with spreading the word. According to this text, any Christian that pushes the Bible on you isn't conducting themselves as a true Christian. According to this text, true Christians prepare for conversations about Christ, then allow listeners to lead said conversation with questions when the conversation arrives organically. With gentleness and respect is my favorite part of this scripture because it is a direct counterpoint to any evangelical message that invokes fear. As most of you in tune with Confederate Christianity already know, conservative Christians are obsessed with the rapture.
Yeah.
The rapture is the end of the world, for those of you who don't know. And most of Christian conservatives are convinced that the rapture will take place in their lifetime.
Yeah. It's actually like when you stop and think about like how many people actually believe that that's true, it's kind of fucking disturbing. Like the rapture's not real. Like and not to mention like I have a couple videos on this, but the people who believe like the Israelites, the chosen people, you gotta cleanse the lands of undesirables. That's why the genocide's going on in Gaza. It's because they want to literally usher in the apocalypse and therefore the second coming of Christ and Revelation. Blah 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 blah. It's crazy. It's fucking insane. Excuse me. Never was into edgy atheism because I was raised outside of any church. I mean, I was too. I was never raised religious. My parents were never like we never went to church. We never prayed or anything like that. Um, you know, I was familiar with it. Like I had other family members who were, I guess, more into it, but for the most part, it was just something that I discovered myself. I'll never forget, like, I was like 16, 17, turning on an Amazing Atheist video and hearing him like say flat out something about like um this Christian's belief in God and like teaching literally saying the words, it's because he doesn't exist. There is no God. We just like those words like stuck with me and like kind of like shook me like, oh wow, you can say this, you can believe this. Oh, and then look into it more, it's just like, okay, so the lack of belief in God is just solely based on a lack of evidence. It's just like, oh shit. Okay, so like that's why I got into to logic and reason and deduction, understanding, the rhetoric that Christian apologists use, Islam apologists use, and it just led me down this big old rabbit hole to where it's like, yeah, you got to question fucking everything that you're being fed, like question the rhetoric that's being uh, ham-fisted your way and then being delivered towards you, like without any evidence. You know, and my literally my header on my stateless patriot Instagram is the worst thing I ever did for my mental health is learning about politics, because like that's kind of like the road I was led down after the content farming for atheist content pretty much dried up. Like there became it turned into like the skeptic community, which was in cahoots with anti-feminist, anti-SJW community, and that split off between the right-wing grifters and then like more the progressive types. And that's when I eventually discovered progressive politics, and then I became a socialist, discovering Vosh, and here we are now. I was trying to apply for an admin job at my brother's high school, and they made you swear you believed in the what? They made you what? Okay. I assume this is a private high school, right? Yeah, I wouldn't have continued the application either. What the fuck, man? Uh, Dad anti-religion, but both parents believed in God. I am agnostic as in not sure either way. I would consider myself agnostic atheists. I live day to day as if there is no God, but I'm not going to claim with certainty that there isn't a God, or some sort of higher power. I just live my day to day life as if there isn't. Not atheist like firm, but my denial of the existence of God. I said, right. Yes, private school. Fuck, man. What? I mean, if it was a public school, that'd be like like a national story. But that's fucking wild, dude. That's insane. Atheist had me for like 6 months when I was 17, maybe. Yeah, I mean, there was an abundance of creators around that time for me when I was 17. Like all throughout 2012 through like 2016, 2017, I was constantly watching shit like The Amazing Atheist, who now runs the channel's name is Into the Fray. He does some interesting fucking shit now. Like really like these sermons that are fucking brilliant. I mean, he's always been brilliant. TJ Kirk has always been brilliant. Bit of an edge lord, bit of like kind of a cringe lord, but he's on it. Anyway, um, yeah, what a career that guy has had. Him, Mr. Repsion, Armored Skeptic, Logic, who I still watch, and Dark Matter 2025, who I still watch, who's fucking top of his game as well. Absolutely love him. Jacqueline Glenn. I remember when Cult of Dusty was doing atheist content. Genetically Modified Skeptic, Telltale Atheists. A whole handful of fucking guys. A whole handful of channels for sure. Anyway, let's continue this. We'll probably get into like maybe 10, 15 minutes, and then I'll probably cut the stream.
The message of conservative Christianity in America is, therefore, join our team before it's too late and you burn in hell for eternity.
God.
1 Peter 3:15, though, describes a polite and respectful form of evangelism. Why can't America have this kind of Christianity? 1 Corinthians 9:19 through 23. Though I am free and belong to no one, I have made myself a slave to everyone to win as many as possible. To the Jews, I became like a Jew to win the Jews. To those under the law, I became like one under the law, so as to win those under the law. To those not having the law, I became like one not having the law, so as to win those not having the law. To the weak, I became weak to win the weak. I have become all things to all people, so that by all possible means, I might save some. I do all this for the sake of the gospel, that I may share in its blessings.
I really do need to read the Bible.
Now, according to its most generous interpretation, this passage advocates Christian empathy. According to its most cynical interpretation, this passage advocates evangelical manipulation. Paul implies that in order for people who didn't know him to trust him, he had to be like them. Meaning in a very general
sense. That's literally, that is like in a nutshell, that's kind of what trust comes down to. Like in order to fit in with a crowd, in order to fit in with a group of people, you do have to adapt to the way they behave, they act, the way they see things. But, and this is like one of my fundamental, I guess, principles that I live by. The mark of an intelligent mind is one that can entertain a belief or an idea without necessarily accepting or embracing said belief or idea.
Spending time with them so that he could better understand their way of life and thus improve his chances of converting them to Christianity when the opportunity arose. That approach to human relationships is the art of empathy I described in my very first episode. Meeting people where they already are, understanding.
God, this is why fucking me and Dieter get along so goddamn well, dude. He he fucking gets it. This is exactly my philosophy. Meet people where they are.
Their worldview first, then imparting whatever knowledge you might have that might be relevant to their spiritual journey.
Yeah.
The off-putting language to me in this scripture is to win. Invoking competition might not have been the intended use of that word, but it nonetheless begs the question, if Paul won, who...
For me, okay, we'll go back a little bit here. For me, to win means, in this context, to persuade or, I guess, to align with. I think that's the context here.
Word, but it nonetheless begs the question, if Paul won, who lost? Competition has no place within the context of spiritual journeys. And that's why to win in this passage might actually mean to win over,
Yeah.
as in to persuade.
Yes, that's what I
Regardless of the intended meaning of that repeated infinitive to win, the overarching meaning of this passage is that in order to influence someone spiritually, you must learn their way of living first.
Bingo.
I don't see Paul's message here as anything more than empathy comes before evangelism.
Yes.
2 Timothy 4, 1 through 5.
Speaking my
I
language.
solemnly charge you in the presence of God and of Christ Jesus, who is to judge the living and the dead, and by his appearing and his kingdom, preach the word. Be ready in season and out of season, reprove, rebuke, and exhort with great patience and instruction. For the time is coming when people will not endure sound doctrine, but wanting to have their ears tickled, they will accumulate for themselves teachers to suit their own passions, and will turn away their ears from the truth, and will turn aside to myth. But you, be sober-minded in all things, endure hardship, do the work of an evangelist, fulfill your ministry. Christian followers don't really have ministries unless, of course, they are ministers. This passage was intended for Christian leaders, not Christian followers. And don't forget that 2 Timothy wasn't written by Paul, but rather it was most likely written by one of his followers to encourage nascent Christian communities being persecuted by the Romans to remain committed to Christ as their Savior. A very reasonable interpretation of this text actually includes a suggestion to ministers that they not be pushy about their evangelism, and a warning about confirmation bias. Reprove, rebuke, and exhort with complete patience and teaching just means preach the word with authentic passion and don't be condescending when someone challenges you.
In other words, read your goddamn Bible, Christians. Read the fucking Bible. I mean, God, can you imagine living in the age of like televangelism? I mean, it's still probably kind of around sort of today, but like in the fucking 80s where it was just like so much more prominent. Like fuck. Oh, we were talking about Megan's brother. Let's see here. Where was it? Where the hell did it go? Oh, trying to apply for an admin job at her brother's high school, and they made you swear that you believed in the rapture. Yeah, insane. Oh, if you've been keeping up with me following this, Dieter, it's fucking brilliant. It's so good.
Similarly, accumulate for themselves teachers to suit their own passions means that if people are not approached respectfully by Christian evangelists, they will reject the religion and seek out alternative spiritual viewpoints until they find one that tells them what they want to hear. I don't know if there's any literature prior to this that implicitly references confirmation bias, but if my interpretation of this text is valid, this is profound insight into the human psyche to the tune of 19 centuries ahead of its time, proving my subtextual point that there is intellectual value in the Bible. It's just when that's literally the only thing you've really studied for your entire life, there's only one term for that: blind faith. True Christians' faith isn't blind.
No, it's crazy because it's like those who study the Bible, they should they should know better. Like the in-your-face evangelists, the religious protesters outside of fucking anime conventions and rock concerts and what fucking have you. It's just like, read your goddamn Bible, dude.
American evangelism goes from annoyingly self-righteous and ignorant to societally destructive and militant when misguided conservatives think of themselves as soldiers in the army of God.
God, this needs to be like iterated so much more broadly. Like it needs to be addressed, like because like it's still just like a fundamental component of the Republican Party, especially people who subscribe to the doctrine of the Republican Party, who continuously vote for them and shit, and use like Republican dogma and propaganda of conservative media as excuses, and not to mention their faith in God as an excuse, and their Christian faith and all this shit. And it's just like, fuck, it's all right here. You're all fucking hypocrites. Nick, if really wanted to popularize Confederate Christian national, it describes so many of them. It's just true.
The scriptural citations I found when I searched for biblical references to soldiers in the army of God. 3 from the Old Testament and 3 from the New Testament. But I'm going to hold on to one of those New Testament ones for the final piece of Confederate Christianity's unholy trichotomy of theocracy. Joel 2:11. The Lord thunders at the head of his army. His forces are beyond number, and mighty is the army that obeys his command. The day of the Lord is great. It is dreadful. Who can endure it? Written almost 600 years before Christ was born, this scripture is about an army of God that would have invaded ancient Judah as punishment for its citizens' sins had they not repented. There is nothing about this text that suggests followers of Yahweh should consider themselves soldiers in his army. In fact, the text implies that humans are not members of God's army, and probably can't be because the army is adversarial to humanity. Let's be honest about this text. The writer is describing a spiritual army that might become physical if the human subjects do not comply with God's demand that they repent. About as fear-driven as it gets. Also about as taken out of context as it gets. Ezekiel 37, 9, 10. Then he said to me, prophesy to the breath, prophesy, son of man, and say to it, this is what the sovereign Lord says. Come, breathe from the 4 winds and breathe into these slain that they may live. So I prophesied as he commanded me, and breath entered them. They came to life and stood up on their feet, a vast army. If this Old Testament scripture were to be interpreted literally, it would mean that an army of ancient Jews were brought back to life. Zombie Jews.
Fuck. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh. Oh my God. Zombie Jews. No, okay, all right. So I mean, it's too brilliant. It's too funny. No, you should be. You should. You would work so well as a pastor, Dieter. Honestly. Okay. Okay.
Of course, this text was not meant to be taken literally. This has to do with the Jewish spiritual promise that those slain for simply being Jewish will rise again because spiritual justice exists. This is a classic rhetorical move a lot of religions make, addressing the unfairness of earthly life. Everyone either knows or has heard of people dying for no good reason, military conflict being the most widespread and prevalent example.
Oh man.
In a twisted way, these verses
like before its time and still topical. When did this come out? January 4th, 2024.
seem to suggest that those Jews who have been unjustly slain will return as an army and exact revenge on those.
So like 3 months after October 7th.
That wronged them. A generous interpretation would be that this is what's going to happen during the second coming of Christ when he returns as a conqueror. Either way, there is nothing here that can be used to justify American Christians considering themselves as physical soldiers in a physical army of God. 2 Samuel 22, 2-4. The Lord is my rock, my
so it would actually be like zombies. That's just like perfectly delivered. I can't get over that. I will continue this at a later date. About like a half hour left of that. In the future stream, we'll cover that. The rest of the goddamn video. You know, you get it. You heard you get it. All right. I need to get to bed. I got work in the morning. New job is kind of kicking my ass. They even want me to work this Saturday as well. It's just like, all right, I mean, I need the money, so like why the fuck not? But yeah, as always, and as Dieter says, you don't get change in America by asking nicely. Tune in this week for the Left Coast. We might be doing Thursday. It'd be late Thursday, but we'll be doing Thursday. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and have a good night.